Welcome to another edition of the Postgame Wrap. I'm Jarret Johnson, and this time it's a Texas Tech basketball postgame wrap as the Red Raiders tipped off the 2020-21 season in glorious fashion. Red Raiders defeated Northwestern State at home Wednesday night, 101-58, and boy, as big as that margin, that final score is, 101-58, I think the Red Raiders were actually even more impressive than that. They shot well. They were very unselfish and rebounded. They out-rebounded Northwestern State, I believe, by a ridiculous margin. The final margin was 51-32. I mean, and it seemed like more than that. All the newcomers that we heard so much hype about, and we had hyped up so much. Mac McClung, Marcus Santasilva, Micah Peavy. You just go down the list. Jamarius Burton, Joel and Tombway, who of course had to sell last season, were all very, very impressive. Mac McClung scored a game-high 20 points. He didn't even play a ton of minutes, but boy, whether it was him knocking down threes, setting up easy looks for his buddies, or taking all the way to the hoop off the dribble, McClung was very impressive. Marcus Santasilva, I want to make sure I get this right. He had just a great game in his debut. In very few minutes, I think it was just 18 minutes, he had 10 points and 12 rebounds. He had 10 rebounds in the first half, so he had 12 of their 51 rebounds. The Red Raiders, like I said, were very unselfish. They shared the ball. Now, they had 10 turnovers. Several of those came late, and Coach Beard in the postgame presser voiced his frustration with that. I think he was doing, his normal coaching deal, trying to keep these guys uncomfortable, which was their motto going into the season. But, they had 22 assists. 22 and 10, they'll take that every game. I really believe that. Very unselfish. There was a lot of movement. It was a very fluid offense tonight, which led to them shooting a great percentage. They shot 50% from the field, 50% or 40% from three, which is great for a team. And they only shot 50% from the free throw line, which is really the only negative I could see, but obviously it didn't hurt the bottom line. Terrence Shannon, I should definitely mention him. He had some thunder, he had a thunderous dunk and some great plays. He scored 16 points and pulled down 5 rebounds. Kyler Edwards was really good. The veteran, the junior, he had kind of a sophomore slump in terms of shooting after a really good freshman year off the bench, especially in the tournament. But he was a very efficient, he had 10 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal. He was very good. He looked very under control. Didn't take too many ill-advised shots. I really like what I saw from Kyler Edwards. And then the true freshman, Micah Peavy, started in place of Kevin McCullough, who was going to start, who, by the way, big update, yes, he didn't play. He was wearing a brace. Coach Beard said in the postgame presser that he rolled an ankle. So it's not expected to be a long-term deal at all. He expects McCullough to be back sooner rather than later. Also on the injury front, Vlad Golden, the 4-star, 7'1" freshman, that we didn't get to see in the opener. He has like a hand-wrist issue, Coach Beard said. Also, not believed to be long-term at all. He expects both of them, like I said earlier, to be back sooner rather than later. But Micah Peavy, he showed what he's capable of, why he was the top, 40 player, top 50 player in the country, one of the best players to come out of Texas, in my opinion, in a couple of years. 6'7", he's put on some weight since he's been at Texas Tech, some good weight. He had a really nice game as a starter, as a true freshman. He had 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He had a couple steals too. He showed a lot. He showed his mid-range game. He showed he could get to the basket. He was able to set up some teammates, hit the boards. Defensively, he's going to play well. His dad, David P., the head coach at Duncanville, really stresses that. I've interviewed him before. He talked about how important that was in terms of teaching his son the proper way to play defense before sending him to his friend Chris Beard's program. So, really impressive opening night performance from Peavy, but he's not the only one. I was really impressed with Tyreek Smith, who, quite honestly, what I had heard, what I believe coming into the season is that Reek, as he's called around, the program, wasn't going to play a whole lot. Like, he's going to play some minutes here or there, but let me tell you something. The way he played, the activity he played with, it reminded me of like a poor man's Ben Wallace in terms of like a small, like, he's a shorter guy for a big guy, but great athleticism. What a great presence, always active. He had like 3 or 4 dunks where his buddies, his teammates set him up. Really impressive performance. Had a nice block there at one point, defending the rim. Like, if Tyreke Smith, if that's any kind of indication of what to expect from him, then he's going to play a lot more than I thought. So I was really impressed by him. Chibuzo Agbo came in, knocked down a 3. He's a very good 3-point shooter. Was active on the boards, got a couple of like cleanup layups, played well. I really liked him. Avery Benson, of course, the veteran. He was been a walk-on in this program. Got the crazy hair, the crazy facial hair, all that, all tatted up. It's interesting. He's one of the more respectful, nicer people you'll meet, period. Forget him being an athlete or a kid or whatever. It's one of my favorite people I've met in this business. And, man, what a great asset to have on the team. He got some steals, got to the line, played some defense. He knows the offense, knows, what Coach Beard wants for him. So he looked really good out there, too. Namari Burnett got some run. I thought he looked a little tentative. He looked like it was his first college game. But you can see the talent there. He's going to be a good one for the Red Raiders as well. So, I mean, honestly, it's hard to find too much to nitpick about. I tell you what, I want to see them play some more. It was so much fun. The game was over like that. But the good thing is we don't have to wait too long. Tomorrow, do the family thing, Turkey Day, eat some good food, get a good nap, and then Friday, 1 p.m., back at the USA, Texas Tech will be at it. They host Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State, hey, they're supposed to be pretty good in their conference. So, I think it's going to be a closer game. But I'm expecting. I think the thing that stood out to me that I didn't know about this team was just how selfish it was. And that's why I started off this video with, and that's what I want to finish with. And Mac McClung was asked in the postgame presser about that, and if that's something to expect, or was it just the opening night, or what? And he said, no. That's what to expect. That's who we are. This team gels. We care about each other on and off the court, and we want to, help each other out, help each other perform well, so the team can win. So, man, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. I saw what I wanted to see, heard what I wanted to hear. I just can't wait for the next game. 1 p.m. Friday, back at the USA. Inside the Red Raiders, we'll have all kinds of coverage again for you. Game threads, Jaeger shots, post-game wraps, all of that. So until next time, thank you for watching.